Othering Podcast explores the world of marginalized communities with a focus on the disabled and LGBTQ+. In our discussions, we will provide a platform for our guests to advocate and share their stories. By delving deep into their difficulties and successes, we will explore the changes necessary to improve lives everywhere. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the Othering Podcast with Mike and Dory. I can't believe the feedback and positive recognition we've gotten since we started this.
I agree. It's actually been quite happy. Not quite happy, but
Refreshing.
I don't know if refreshing is the right word either, but yes, it's nice to see that we're making a difference already. Mm-hmm. And we're getting people interested and people that want to seem to, or maybe it's just because they want to be nice.
Maybe, but I don't think that's the case. I think they are interested and they want to make a difference. And they want their voice to be heard.
Who doesn't want their voices heard? And it's more than just the 5 minutes of fame. Oh wait, no, it's 15. Sorry. 5, 10, 15. Mm-hmm. It's more than that. It's more of a, we want to make a difference. We want to fight the man, be the man, whatever.
And the people that are following and that care about this have the same feelings.
Well, yeah.
So
otherwise, yeah. Why would you be on social media just to?
I think there's a lot of them.
Well, that's true. I mean, there are a lot of them, but like, it's just, I don't know. For a long time, I kind of felt like blah on social media. Like I wanted to see things, but it was just blah. Until I started, kind of paying better attention.
Yeah, I'm not sure social media is the best place in the world as far as that's concerned. I think there's a lot of junk on social media that's not worth following.
Well, yeah, of course there's a lot of junk. And the junk is, well, junk. But the thing is that there's still some good stuff out there. It's just you got to find it. But yeah. Once I found the good stuff, it kind of, I don't know, made me feel like I wasn't quite so alone, even though they're not close enough to go, get a drink. You found the good stuff and it made you feel good? Yeah, well.
That's what happens when you get good stuff.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
I got you, it made me feel good. That's what happens when you get good stuff.
We're not talking about that part.
But anyway, my whole point in all this is we really appreciate all the support we've gotten so far leading up to this.
Yeah.
And it really blows us away, and we're looking forward to what's next.
We want to be the good stuff so that other people that haven't reached or found their little niche or whatever, their friends, whether it's in person or online, can enjoy listening to us and follow our future guests and follow us and, make those connections so that they don't feel quite as alone.
Exactly.
Find the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's legal. The legal good stuff.
So since you've kind of touched on it already, do you want to give them an idea of what to expect with this podcast coming up?
Yeah. We want to talk about, of course, we're going to kind of mention the diagnoses that we all have, a little bit about what those diagnoses mean, because each person, it's different. For instance, if you have the spinal cord injury, it can be a high one or it could be a low one. It could be in your neck. It could be like basically in your butt. Because the spine goes from your head to your butt.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Or it could be that you have some sensation or no sensation. And so we're going to touch on how it differs for each person, but also we're going to mostly talk about how they have accepted their disability, what prompted them to realize that there's nothing wrong with having a disability, getting rid of, I guess you could say, the internalized ableism.
And I lost my train of thought because I did something else.
And we will do that too. We will talk about how we lose our train of thoughts because again, that's one of the symptoms of being disabled sometimes. Certain disabilities cause brain fog, and we're just like,
Hmm. Oh, I know what it was. They'll talk about how their disabilities and have affected their life and their family and what it does to their personal life
yeah.
and the how it's different from able-bodied people.
And, finding love or getting rid of love, if you want. Um, not just accepting your disability, but accepting yourself and
Hmm.
being able to wear it as a badge and not as, oh my God, I should be ashamed, because you shouldn't be. We want to talk to them about, what are they doing in their lives to help promote their own. Are they creating businesses? Are they becoming models, actors, things like that, so that we can all get to see ourselves in the media that's out there, as opposed to perfectly able bodied people. And there's nothing wrong with perfectly able bodied people either. But when that's all you see and you never get to see the difference, the different types of bodies that are out there and different types of disabilities, it's just, eh.
Yeah, it is.
And so,
So, ooh, you have a pretty substantial disability that affects your movement and walking, and it affects our life a lot.
yes.
Ooh, what would you, well, first of all, what is it? Tell them. And then
Um,
how would you kind of answer that question on how it affects your life versus being able bodied like you used to be?
Well, currently I have chronic regional pain syndrome, also known as CRPS, and some people it doesn't affect a whole lot. Some people it's just here and there, but I was one of the people that ended up getting it where it's more disabling to me. It affects primarily my left leg, but it kind of has been affecting my right leg because I have to use my right leg more. And so it makes it more difficult to walk, to bend, to pick up things, to walk my dogs, things like that. Cook is highly difficult. And
Yep.
I mean, we shared it before. Sometimes you'd cook, sometimes I would cook. um, and now it's all on you because I cannot stand that long. I don't have a proper sized wheelchair to go around our house, because it's an old 120-year-old house.
But you're getting one.
Yes, I am.
Well, hopefully it's the right size.
Hopefully it's the
It's
right
the right
size,
size for
and
you, but maybe not for the house.
yeah, that too. I'm hoping that it'll help me do more, because right now I feel like a burden to you.
No, you're not. And I don't think when you can't do stuff because you physically cannot do it, that doesn't make you a burden. If you were not doing it because you just didn't want to, you just wanted to chill out and not do anything, that's different. But when you really can't do it because you're in pain or you're sick or whatever the case may be, or you just can't because it doesn't work, that's completely different. That's not being a burden.
Yeah, but again, it's that internalized ableism where
Hmm.
you, especially here in America, where you grow up and you're supposed to be up at the crack of dawn, and you gotta be doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that constantly. And you're only supposed to rest when it's bedtime. You're not supposed to rest during the day because that's lazy,
Yeah.
and you kind of have to. When you get chronically ill or disabled and things like that, you're forced to take that step back. You're forced to
Hmm.
sometimes take that nap or relax, because it causes extreme fatigue for me.
And it's not easy as the able bodied one to always understand or to get used to that.
No, it's not easy. I mean, it's still hard for me to sometimes get used to,
Hmm.
because sometimes I think, well, I'm feeling good today, so maybe I can try. And then I try it, and
Yeah, it doesn't go well.
yeah, it doesn't go well. I'm out for the next day or two because I tried to push myself into doing stuff that it may be okay that day, but when you're chronically ill or chronically in pain, it affects so much that you kind of have to plan out your whole life from the moment you're diagnosed on.
Yep.
Not to mention at how long it took to get diagnosed with this, which was ridiculous too.
Yeah.
That took what, 5 years, 5 6 years.
Too long.
Yeah, and it's seeing way too many doctors.
Hmm.
I mean, one says, like, walk it off. One said, oh, you can't possibly have it because you're not deformed.
But you didn't get the problem, the pain until, what, 2015?
2012.
2012?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you got it pretty late in your life.
Yeah,
all
some
things
people
considered.
get it. Well, according to the scientific literature that I've read, when you get it as a child, you grow out of it, or it's easier to be healed when you get it as a kid versus an adult.
And I would guess since you knew what it was like to be able-bodied for so long, going to what it is now is really a difficult transition.
It was a huge transition.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, I grew up with, you got to be up at 8 a.m. I used to ride horses, so growing up, we would be up at 6 in the morning a lot of times for school or to take care of the horses over the summer, or doing chores.
Mm-hmm.
You got chores to do at home, so you had to do that. And now it's like, I went from playing with our kids soccer in the yard and running around with them to, I can't even do that.
Because of playing soccer with them in the
Well,
yard.
yeah, that was kind of where it went down. That was one of the upteenth injuries that I've gotten to my body. Who knows why? I mean, there could be an underlying issue for that too. I mean, everything is so interrelated in your body.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was playing soccer and with our kids in my parents' yard, and their yard is nice and hilly. Well, little hills. And I decided to find the one hole.
Mm-hmm. You do that a lot.
I do that in every yard. I find the holes. And so I twisted my ankle and it never healed. Or, well, it healed, but the pain didn't stop. The pain was always there. And now it's in both legs.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
My disabilities are not limiting like that. Mine are more, I don't know, invisible, I guess would be the word.
Well, I mean, mine is kind of invisible unless...
No, you can see it. You have to use mobility aids. You have to use canes, maybe a wheelchair sometimes. I wouldn't call that invisible. People see that.
Well, now it's not invisible, but it wasn't for a while, where sometimes I could walk just fine, and sometimes I might have to use a cane.
But even when you walk now without the cane, you don't walk normal.
No, because it hurts.
You clearly have a limp or something, so I still wouldn't say it's invisible.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it hurts, though, to walk, which is why I use the disability aids. I also can't see very well. That's why I have these glasses to aid me.
And because you're getting old.
No.
I can't see anymore because I'm getting old.
Yeah, for you it is. I've always had to have glasses. Well, not always, but ever since I was at least in middle school, I always had to have glasses.
That doesn't seem very uncommon, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people seem to have that issue.
Your brother did.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm the only one in my family that didn't have glasses.
Yeah, you were.
So, my problems. Which ones
Where do
would
we
you
start?
Which ones would you say are actual disabilities and not just?
Aw, shucks, that sucks.
Yeah. I feel like tinnitus is just oh shit, that sucks.
No, tinnitus is up there in the disabilities. I mean, it causes you to constantly have a ringing in your ears so that you can't hear. It's causing you to be hard of hearing. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've had to repeat myself louder and such in order for you to hear me correctly.
Because you're facing the other way, mumbling, talking quietly.
I don't mumble, you mumble. You're Mr. Mumble.
Maybe I do.
Exactly. That's why. But I would say your tinnitus, and a lot of our arguments are because I think we're both undiagnosed at the moment, but, we have our...
On the spectrum.
We expect things to be spoken in a certain manner. That's what I'm trying to say. And when I say certain things, unless it's, as we're talking right now, sometimes it's not clear to you. And sometimes there's things that you say, and it's just like, I don't understand what you're saying. Even though the words are clicking, it's like, it's not, the meaning isn't quite there. And I think that's kind of a big thing there. And you used to have, I mean, you still do, you have learning disabilities.
Mm-hmm. So do you think we're on the autism spectrum?
I'm a doctor, but I'm not that kind of doctor, so I can't really describe, I mean...
Yeah, I know, we're not diagnosing, but just undiagnosed guess.
Yeah.
I would say we
based
are
on...
very high functioning.
based on what I've read about the symptoms and with our son, actually possibly all three of them, being on the spectrum as well, and our nephews and things like that, I would say yes, it is more likely that we are on the spectrum and just we were masking. We masked too well.
And with that being said, that is another thing. We have one kid that has diagnosed autism, one has ADHD, and another one is trans.
Well, they go by a multitude of pronouns. It's hard to explain it without getting into detail, and
Right.
we don't have their permission, so I don't want to go into detail.
We understand the family life and the effects having kids with issues can cause, and it can get a little
Not that
hectic.
being LGBTQ plus is an issue.
No,
but
it's not. None of it's really an issue. It's
No,
just
yeah.
it can all make things a little
it can make things more difficult.
difficult and
But
different.
once you understand what the what's the right term? Once you understand your diagnosis or diagnoses, if you have multiple, then it frees you up to be able to then navigate around it and to understand, well, because I, for instance, say for shits and giggles, I am definitely autistic. But knowing that allows me to then understand how to navigate what language issues I might have. And so I think it's beneficial to understand what language or physical or even invisible disabilities you have so that you can be the best that you can with it. Because
So that you can understand what's wrong with you and you can help others understand what's wrong with you.
right, so that you can navigate the world, make the world understand better you, not you understand the world. Because the world should kind of accept
Try.
you and try to understand you instead of, oh, you're not perfect, go away. No.
Real quick before we go, I wanted to talk about what we're doing this upcoming weekend.
Yes, we have some cool news to tell everybody.
Yes, we do. We're going to the Abilities Expo in New Jersey at the Convention Center. Looks really cool.
Yeah, it's in certain cities like LA, New York, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, and I think one other city, but it's really cool and I'm excited to go. It'll be my first one and I get to hopefully meet some other wheelchair users there and meet some other disabled and people at the expo.
Yeah, I'm hoping to meet a lot of cool people and everything too. I was just looking at their website and it looks like they have lots of cool stuff, live events, online resources, and game-changing technology, different products and education for disabled and the whole community. So it looks really cool. I'm excited to meet people there and hopefully can meet some of you listeners.
That would be awesome. I'm a little saddened that I won't have my own wheelchair so that I can learn some wheelchair abilities that they have is one of the workshops that they have there.
You'll have a wheelchair, it's just not a good one.
Yeah, but it's not a good one. It's not really for me. It's just generic. Yeah. But anyway, I am looking forward to it.
Yes, we're very excited. And if you're in the area, New Jersey area, come on out and see us there. We'll be there on Sunday, May 4th. We're really excited to get this started. We have a lot of interviews coming up. We're going to be premiering next week, May 5th. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be great.
We can't wait to hear what you have to say with, our guests and listening to, what they have to say.
Sound like a plan. All right. Thank you, everyone. And look forward to seeing you next week.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.